You know, the reason why I didn't play for this long is because of that character. I was so done with that character. Man, I started it in November 14th, and then I played like 1 or 2 days. And then I was like so done with it. Oh man. Man, this game sucks. So no more insubstantial wisp, right? And these guys have like a role? Oh no, that was Palentonga. Armator half rampaging. Um, I hope that mace is good. Why do I get mana regen? This is the newest version, like trunk. Uh, all my muscle memory is gone. It's been a couple of months. Version information. There we go. That's the version. Enough of that version. Well, at the very least, I'll like to identify the identify. And that. We got a really good start for going Gosak with the shops. You played Crawl for the first time in months yesterday. Why would you do that to yourself? We got some armor. So now things won't hit like a brick for a couple of floors. Ooh, Amulet of Regen. This is looking like a really promising run. If that Randart Maze is good, we are gonna have quite the run. Okay, I think that I'll take the 7-7 over the 8-4. We're not at the stage where we can equip that chainmail. Going for Gosag is looking like it. The level only has 2 shops. Okay, Robin could kill me here. Hello, Jungolia. Thank you for stopping by. Oh yeah, I have regen equipped. I forgot. We're going strength. I got brigand, but I'm not doing any stealthy stuff. We got enough for the scroll to identify second amulet of regen. Unfortunately, I can only equip one. But the amulet of regen actually will make the early game really easy. I just need to get like a bit of a better weapon. And I should probably turn off auto train because we don't want to be training a bunch of those things. I think it had a stealth on, and like why do these have +2 stealth? You know, I think we can curare Robin here. Yeah, that gets the job done. We get a helmet. We lost the curare. Hello, Jonas. It's crazy. Like, why exactly? Yeah, we are about to get 15 years on crawl. 15 years ago, effectively half my life. A bit under half my life, but pretty much half. I still remember The first time I opened Crawl, I was like, "Well, how hard can this be? I've won NetHack a bunch of times, and then I got killed in the starting room from a bolt that was removed. That seems like an item. I will equip it because I like not dying to hexes. Yeah, that was my thought. Like, surely this is not as hard as NetHack. NetHack is a hard game, but it turns out that NetHack is not a hard game, and this is kind of a hard game. Um, and then I started on another run, and I was like, maybe that was just a fluke, and the average crawl game is not as unforgiving and brutal as that. And it was not as bad. Like Um, I didn't die immediately, but I still died very early. I was like, yeah, okay. And then I gave it a break for a couple of months until I had my canon event with NetHack, where I realized that every game was the same and I was like not having any fun with it. And I started playing Crawl for real in about April, but my first games were in January. There was a guy in the NetHack community that was like, "Oh, you should try Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. That game is really fun. It's super good." Um, and as I have said a couple of times, it took me until I started engaging with Magic in this game for me to get properly hooked. We are not going to be using that dagger. We can drop it for the flail, and we're going to be training maces. Even if the Randart mace in the shop is not great, I still will be going maces because this flail of protection will be really good for the early game. And hopefully by the time it stops being fantastic, I will have an upgrade for it. Um, I don't think I'm going Jiva. I would like to go Trog or Okawaru, but those are boring. Um, oh yeah, that's why I excluded that. Natasha is a staggered. What exactly is a staggering? Is this a thing about maces? No idea what staggering is. Trog on D3. Nah, I mean I could. Um, you regenerate magic. Oh, you regenerate magic and health. When does that happen? Experience level 7. Okay, once again, console does not show it, but Tiles does. Alright. It's a shame that development of this game switched away from console to the point where sometimes these kinds of things just don't look properly, don't look the way they should look on console. Sorry for leaving, but I didn't feel like I could stream, and I still don't really. Uh, but at the same time, this is my only economic activity, you could say, and I kind of want to not starve, so here we are. Can't all be cool players. Mm, Dark Flail of Protection is it's not quite an upgrade because it gets rid of all my willpower. Because I have to drop the buckler, but it is still interesting. Okay, okay. Look at what we have here. I'm gonna buy a bunch of unidentified stuff, postponing the mace, but it's fine because my weapon is pretty decent, and I just bought potions that may be curing based on the amount of based on the size of the stack. My guess is curing. Um, and unidentified scrolls that were not part of a stack. Yeah, so those are gonna be interesting. Let's read identify. Let's identify the keyring. Oh, it was attraction. Big stack of attraction for some reason. Okay. We used all the identify and we didn't find blinking. That's a lot of orc wizards, you know? That's a lot of them. Oh, I don't think I should be terrified of them. I think we can deal with that. Yeah, because I have willpower and regen. There's no way they can kill me. Yeah, I kind of just went straight through them. Um, you begin to regen health when rolling towards enemies. Okay, about 100 gold until I can try the mace. Once again, if the mace is not good, it's fine. Ogre. That is actually kind of scary. Druid is also kind of scary. Yeah, I want to not get affected by a Bane. That would be very bad. Alright. Somehow I lost the Ogre. I guess that I start with high enough stealth for that not to be a problem. Okay, why am I having it when I can just use Curare? Oh, come on. Okay. Alright, didn't lose any Curare. Wand of Digging, quite a find for the early game. Two orc priests. I kinda don't want to deal with that. But at the same time, my only option is really to read Fear. Yeah, we Fear. If the sleep... Oh, can it put me to sleep? Does that check... I guess it doesn't check willpower. I guess it just happens. If it happens, that's not gonna be good. Yep. If it happens again, I might be dead. Okay. Temple. From these options, I think I should go Gosak. Service fee of 60 gold. Now I have 80, but it's fine because I'll accumulate a lot of gold very soon. I will be able to buy that mace, and it will be a cool thing for this character to get that mace. Hopefully, if it's highly enchanted, that will be the weapon for a while. I don't wanna fight that guy. The demon is fine. The ogre isn't. The ogre is very dangerous. Even with 18 armor class, the ogre can still hit really hard. If I get unlucky, I could get hit for 40. I did get a staff there, and it was in a 1v1, so I guessed it was fine, and it was fine. This guy has Mind Burst, which I am interested in picking up. We can buy the Randar Globes now, and maybe I should go back for them. I am almost certain they're gonna be more impactful, more interesting than the mace, because the mace is a mace at the end of the day. So how good can it be? No, I cannot buy everything. Pretty good, pretty good. Cannot complain about Globes of Fire resistance. Those are pretty rare. Alright, yep. It turns out that things in D6 cannot deal with players with 20 armor class. Not even the scariest melee monsters stand as much of a chance as they need to. Ooh, one of these guys had a +3 Morningstar. We're getting some really good loot. It's as if the game is saying welcome back. And yeah, we should probably pick that up. there will be a time where the enhanced damage output of the Morningstar will be better than the protection brand. And also there is a scroll brand weapon for 100 gold in D1. I could just go and use it right now. And in fact that could be a good idea. Do I have a cloak? Okay, I do. I have the helmet. I don't think I have put it on. Yeah, okay, now I put it on. 14 armor class base, courtesy of the crazy amount of gear that I have found on top of the ring of protection that I have as well. It's looking like a run, like a really good run. We are really close to the maze. So yeah, postponing the maze for a floor, I think it was fine. We also get to see this +3 maze of willpower. I don't think I like it. Let's go buy the Ivory Maze on D1. It's very cheap, so that's why I'm doing it. +5 anti-magic maze, that is going to be interesting because it's anti-magic. If I come across a dangerous early game spellcaster, that could come into play. I have fire resistance, so I'm not afraid of a Steam Dragon. Unfortunately, Gozak, therefore no scales. That could be a dangerous thing to see. Okay, very scary. I hate eels. I don't think eels should be in the game. The region when you roll is so funny. That is not good. I wish I... Oh, no. Now you know which one is the real one. Sweet. Okay, I hope that you all have nice holidays. I didn't really do anything. No family gatherings, nor anything. The most special thing that I did, which I don't normally do, is get some Panda Express. You know, I like Panda Express. I wouldn't say it's my favorite meal, but I like it. It was good. It was good Panda Express. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse for me to not really like the holiday food because I know a lot of people look forward to the holiday season for the food, but that is not me. Pretty much everything I don't like. I remember when I was a kid and there were the holidays and they were like, "What would you like to eat?" And I was like, "Can I have some rice and beans like always?" And there was only the fancy holiday food and no rice and beans for me. Okay, delightful. Um, oh, now it gives you the percentages for to affect certain things. That's pretty good. That level was a death trap. Crawlsome does so much of that. I would say that's an unfun part of the game. I wish Crawl didn't have that much of a, oh, you're steamrolling everything into, oh, you are going to die unless you get lucky and also play well. Because in that situation I lived because I played well and I also got lucky that I didn't get as host as I could have gotten. I did get heavily corroded, but I could have just rolled enough damage received that I died, right? And that didn't happen. Okay, that's a good ring. The game's rewarding me for going Gozak. This is the only way to explain it. Hmm. I missed the Bailey because of that Manticore thing. Why is there a Manticore on D8 even? I mean, it doesn't matter. Why would I care about a Bailey when I already have loot this good? A Bailey would only be likely to kill me and I guess it would give something in return, but I would say it's not worth it. Mm, too many monsters. Alright, a single white. I should be able to beat 1v1, and I do. How annoying of a situation. Just a million monsters out of nowhere. My mazes is at 12. I'm gonna turn that off and turn on fighting. It's not 1.0 delay. No, it's not min delay, but it is below 1.0, so this is fine. This guy's wearing a plate. No wonder I'm not killing this guy. Wujian would be good with Armatar. I wonder if Wujian overrides Armatar Rampaging. Hopefully not. Yes, Acid Dragon dealing tons of damage for some reason. Kind of rough that I have to potion petition here. I don't know if I have the damage output to kill the dragon after the corrosion actually. Maybe I do. I just have to use, gear. There we go. That was pretty good. Now the rest of these monsters are not concerning. The blackberry is a little bit concerning, or it would have been had I not gotten back all my HP. Okay, what is going on? Why is this level a Ziggurat? This is literally just a Ziggurat for the early game. I'm gonna skip that level. Oh, Kroll, why do you have to be like this? But at the same time, that aspect about Kroll, where like the inconsistency of Kroll's everything is its charm, right? Like people really like it that out of a sudden you can just lose half your HP in one turn. Where in situations where before you have been in and nothing happened. I've never liked it. In that regard, I wish it was a bit more of a consistent game. Mm. But it's never gonna change. I've said it so many times already. I wish Kroll was Rift Wizard more, or like more like Rift Wizard. I wish it grabbed the predictable and consistent combat elements of Rift Wizard, so that you don't have to fear for your life every time there's a minuscule possibility of you dying in combat to something that statistically shouldn't happen, but it's gonna happen one of these days, and when it does, it's gonna suck. What is Dim? Your spells will be weakened for longer. Your spells have diminished power. Oh, Dim is diminished power. Okay. Who cares about that? I'm not casting spells. You think it's really egregious that spellcasters cast random spells? How come? In Rift Wizard, you do get a list of everything that any enemy is going to do, and you also get the order in which those things are going to happen. You just cannot reliably predict the result of very few of those spells that the enemies have, right? And that's there's a little bit of randomness there, but it is at a point in the game where it is okay, and where you actually have the tools to manage that. Kroll throws a bunch of randomness at you early enough in the game that you just have to get lucky. Have to get lucky having found the consumables and having identified the consumables, or just getting lucky with our combat RNG. Yeah, I got shafted 3 floors, by the way. My gear is strong enough that I am not too concerned unless we find something truly unfair. But I still would like to get up. Yeah, Bunny would be something truly unfair, but I have the suspicion that guy is trapped in there. I don't think that guy is actually threatening me. It would be crazy, crazy out of depth for the 11, for any character. Especially because it's giga fast, so you cannot run away from it. We found the Ring of Slaying. Goodbye, Ring of Cold. Hello, Ring of Slaying. We go back to D9. And we go back to D10. I thought that I had gotten shafted 3 floors. What happened? Did I only get shafted 1 floor or something and I didn't notice? Okay, I'm poisoned, but at the same time I also have infinite regen, pretty much. I have regen from being an Armatar and rolling, and I have regen from my gear. So yeah, poison doesn't do anything. Sometimes you just get vanished or paralyzed and die, and sometimes they randomly choose not to paralyze you or vanish you and you leave. Yep, that is, but and that is what I'm saying. You know, like just Crawl has too many high stakes random situations where you can get completely host just because the game decided that it was time for you to get host. Not because you messed up or because of something you just got host. Like this is a very good example of that actually. Perhaps I shouldn't have been tabbing these things. No, I don't have anything. I think that I either beat this guy or die. I could use turns trying to drink potions. It's almost dead. Mind Verse doesn't do anything because it's slime. Wand of Disintegration would have done something, though perhaps nothing without training. I have enough juice for a potion petition for heal wounds and curing. There we go, big heals. Thank you, Gosak. How's this looking? Ah, the D11 Tengu Warrior. I kinda don't wanna have anything to do with a D11 Tengu Warrior. It's a bit too strong. Especially because it had a shield, so... I have not found Lair. Where could Lair be? Is Lair in this level? My muscle memory is all gone because I don't remember. Oh, there we go. I remembered. Aha. I skipped this level because this level was like a cigarette. Hopefully I can deal with it now without much pain. It seems that I am tabbing things properly. Yeah, it sure helps a lot that I got some slaying. And now I have the damage output required to survive these kind of situations. It still is a cigarette, but not only do I have superior melee compared to when I was here last time, but I also have more gold and by extension more Gosak piety. Gosak is more likely to do stuff. Oh, picked up a ring mail of poison resistance. That is good. Pretty good stuff. We're not gonna be carrying this or this. I don't know what an amulet of dissipation is. Okay, I don't think I care about it. We don't care about Ring of Evasion. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm ever going to put that on. Captain's Cutlass, we're not gonna use that. It's a sword and we are going strength. If I had gotten Brigand but a different species that cares more about dexterity than Armator, I would have totally gone for the Captain's Cutlass and I would have been very happy finding it. It turns out that there is no Lair. Okay, it must be on the 11. Yep, it's on the 11. That sucks because being on the 11 means potentially finding the Tengu Warrior. And unlike these Krakens and Bunyips that I keep finding behind Crystal, that guy can reach me and that guy can outrun me. That guy is guaranteed to outrun me, in fact. You encounter an 8-headed Hydra. Yeah, this is full of monsters that I would prefer not to be fighting. I really don't want to be here. You think the entrance to Lair is here? Yep. Okay, why was a Tengu Band guarding the entrance to Lair? Well, that will be a problem for tomorrow's me. Why do today what can be done tomorrow, right? It's funny that I have interacted with people in my life that say the opposite. You know, why do tomorrow what you can do today, and then they postpone everything till the very last second. Um, Perhaps they didn't realize it, or perhaps they did and they didn't care. Mm, yep. Okay, I'm taking some serious damage because Komodo Dragon. Yeah, I am doing okay even against elephants. Yeah, and against cane toads because I have the resistance and I have big armor class. My damage output may not be the best, but it's hard to compete with the 23 armor class. If I was to take off the flail of protection to go for the Morningstar, like I can make it a +5 branded Morningstar, and I think that would be a really good item, in fact. Or +4. I have only one enchant weapon. I thought I had two. Um, I'm not going to because I would rather save that for my endgame weapon. You know, they're so scarce, and I don't think I'll need to use it on the Morningstar to get me to my endgame weapon. Um, hmm. It turns out that I have not found any mages that I would like to use the mace on, this anti-magic mace. It's running out of time for that one item. It's likely that very soon I'll get rid of it. Scarf of Resistance is an absolute massive item. I'll take the armor class hit for the Fire and Cold Resistance. We don't have to fear so many things now. Anti-Magic is strong versus Orb of Fire, I know, but Anti-Magic on a Mace is not strong versus Orb of Fire, because the likelihood of you applying the Anti-Magic effect depends on the amount of damage that you dealt, and you're not going to be dealing a lot of damage with a plain Mace. Maybe if it was a Great Mace. In fact, for sure if it was a Great Mace, but not with a normal mace. By the way, does the game tell you about that? It reduces your magical energy and disrupts the spells and magical abilities of those it strikes. No, it doesn't say anything about the effect lasting longer or being more powerful if you do a lot of damage, but that's how it works. As far as I know, maybe it was changed in the last couple of years and I didn't know. Hmm. 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 I was thinking if I wanted the hat, and I do, but I don't want the heat right now. I think I'm just gonna avoid that guy until I can. Until I have like 150 HP or so. You know, I have a lot of fighting skill. Let's go for 15. 15 fighting. And we are gonna be training like 15 armor since the aptitude is so massive. But first we are gonna get at least min delay for a mace, which is 14. Um, oh yeah, this feels strong. 22 armor class, tabbing wolves with a rather suboptimal weapon. But I have had plenty of characters in the past where even a wolf band deals substantial damage, and this time I didn't take any damage from them. Same goes for yaks, and elephants are a little bit more concerning. I feel like they can get through my armor class, but as long as I kill them fast enough, it should be fine. My current damage rating is 25, and my attack delay is a little bit on the slow side. Have I gotten any Banes? In any of my games? I think I got one a couple of months ago. I don't remember which one. Oh no, it was one that when I'm at low HP and alone, a Reaper is summoned. Sometimes more than one Reaper. I think I got that from a treasure trove, and I think it almost killed me once. But only one time. That's the only one that I have gotten, and that's the only one that I care to ever get, really. I think the best way to interact with veins is to not interact with veins. The less I know about them, the better. Mm, we have Charming, as is often the case. Okay, that's not gonna work for me. So I have not a lot of armor class without proccing the protection brand, but I do have the resistances for Nessus um, not to be nasty. I can just use Mind Burst, really. Nessus has low willpower for a monster for like a high level unique, a really dangerous unique, all things considered. Yeah, zero skill wand of mind blow, blue Nessus mind. I was right next to the ice cave there at the start. You think this is the ice cave? Hmm. But I don't. I care more about the gauntlet than I do about the ice cave. I should read magic mapping. Yep, right there. And the gauntlet is right outside of my line of sight. Okay. Alright, alright. I was going in the exact opposite direction. Get barding. Ah, get barding. Yes, because Nessus always has a barding. That is so rare. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, that's kind of a huge thing. I didn't even make the connection since I pretty much never play characters with bardings. Shiny swamp skills. I think I'm interested in that. It's a straight up an upgrade, but obviously I would rather get artifacts, as many of them as possible. Mm, okay. What do we have here? It's an artifact. It is an artifact amulet. And the Gale's Grabby Tambourine. I would like to go down that path because I like the Grabby Tambourine and I like um, the Randart amulet. It could be regen and it would be great. Slimy Boots doesn't do anything. The cloak does. Um, oh man, what a gauntlet with multiple Randart boots, which I think Armator cannot use, but I already have my Barding, right? Um, yeah, no boots slot, only Bardings. Um, Still, it's not like this. Um, it's not like this gauntlet is scars with artifacts. Okay, what would I have to fight for that? A jelly, a hellhound, a balrog. That is a bit scary, but I have 2 pips of fire resistance. And I would fight for boots. Okay, we're not going there. Going the much easier route for the thing that is actually a reward. And small labum and wretched star. Okay, I think we got this. I would like to believe we got this. There we go. The slime creatures were split so they didn't pile up. The Boots of Absence. Obviously we cannot put them on, but it's interesting to look at what the game generated. Okay. Kirara is probably enough to deal with Minotaur. Probably not. Minotaur has a tendency to spawn really nasty um, gear combinations that often render Kirara useless. Shield or poison resistance. Um, it happens so much, or reflection sometimes. Mm, Koroth minus 28. Alright, fortunately I have heals from Gozak. Oh, that cloak is pretty okay. Pretty okay indeed. I'm happy about it. Let's wait out the minus 28 corrosion. Alright, now I really wish I had Berserk for this Wretched Star. I would love to be able to Berserk that thing. I guess if I really need to, I could ask for another potion petition. What's piety for? Oh wow, it just pushed me all the way over there, but it was not enough. You're very frail and very vulnerable to cold. Now watch as the Minotaur has a Ballax of cold. Mana regen, resistance to electricity, and blink. That's a shame. It was so close to greatness. Um, Alright, let's see how it goes, and maybe we can actually do nasty stuff to the Minotaur. Yeah, no shield, no resistance. Okay, we might have this. Um, we have Imbis. I drank something by accident. That's pretty bad. I might die here. Yeah, I don't have curing identified. Oh boy, this is very bad. Okay, there's Imbis. I was searching for curing. Okay, there we go. Throw net, please. It misses. Because why wouldn't it miss? Throw curare. It misses with 78 twice. Okay, the third time it does work. Now it would be nice to, might or something along those lines. I kind of want to tab it. Why can't I? Am I silenced? Oh, I did silence myself with the buckler of fun and games. It's all fun and games until the buckler of fun and games silences you. I should have rooted before. Oh man, that was a scary. Alright. Scroll of Fear, Enchant Weapon. I should go buy that brand weapon. Okay, I can make it to the Ice Cave. I still have my cold. Oh, I have in fact quite a bit of weakness to cold. Hopefully that wears off as I kill stuff here. Otherwise, I'm gonna explode. The correct thing to do, I think, is just to not go here. That Komodo Dragon Simulacrum is gonna deal nuclear damage. Yeah, I think it's a bit surprising that I didn't die. I only took 35. I wonder if those mutations are gonna be mitigated if I drink Potion of 3. They messed up with the inventory system and I really don't like it. Because it messes with muscle memory. If you quaff this potion, your armor class would be 37. You know what? I think 37. You can change the inventory system back with an RC option. I wish I knew which one it was. All right. Oh, the cold resistance does get mitigated, or like the cold weakness does get mitigated in tree form. That's neat. Show paged inventory false. I'll have to write that down. All right. Oh, maybe it's time for the maze. Are these things affected by anti-magic? Yes, they are. I cannot believe at the end of the day the time for the maze did come. I was about to drop it. Alright, yep. I am over-equipped for this part of the game, which I appreciate. White Draconian. I should be fine. I have Curare and Net. Yeah, I can deal with it. I would like to deal with it 1v1. I have Emo. Maybe we Emo this. Pretty good. Alright, time for armor training. We would like to wear some really heavy armor if possible. Ring of Fire Resistance, we don't need that. Amulet, ooh, it's Reflection and Slaying, but I like Regen. I like Regen a lot. Like Crystal Plate, yep. This is the kind of character that could use Crystal Plate given that it has such a gargantuan amount of armor class. We found a Lajatang of Freezing. I think we can just slam that, as in put every scroll of enchant weapon and brand weapon on it. We can just keep the freezing brand actually. Yeah, it cross trains with maces, so I don't have to train a lot extra for it. And it is such a strong weapon. The downside is that it gets rid of my willpower, and I don't have a proper replacement for it. Yeah, I would like to wear gold scales actually. I am a gold scales kind of player more than a crystal plate kind of player. People say, oh, armor class is better than resistances, but I prefer having resistances to armor class. And gold scales just gives you so many resistances in one slot, so you can dedicate your other slots to rings of protection or rings of slaying or whatever you need if you cannot afford yourself to go on the offensive with your gear. So if I had the option, if on the same tile there were crystal plate and gold scales, I would grab the gold scales. So I tried streaming in the morning, but then I stopped streaming in the morning because I started waking up later than my stream start time. Yeah, and I haven't been able to fix it. I've been trying to fix it. So it was partially I didn't really feel like I could give anyone anything through streaming, and also that. Um, so yeah, just back to my usual time. Kirky. I have the willpower. I shouldn't get big formed. With 3 sources of willpower, yeah, 7%. Any any more than that would be ridiculous. Still 7% is on the high end of things, considering that I have 3 sources. I attribute it to my low level. There we go. 10 of Tremor Stones, great find. We could train some evocations. What do we have here? Ah, it was gold, so I was like, gold scales? But it was not to be. Awaken Armor. Awaken Armor would be good if I had really heavy armor, but we're not there yet. So right now we are wearing a ring mail of poison resistance. We should probably upgrade to chainmail. But we have no fancy chainmail, and I do like my poison resistance, especially in this stage of the game. This is the land of poison pretty much, and their branches as well will be the land of poison. Berserking Sky Shark. Come on, 39 damage. You know, that's what I was talking about earlier, the inherent randomness of Crawl's combat. Some love it, some completely despise it, and I completely despise it. Yep. 39 damage one turn, 1 damage the next turn. Okay. Chainmail yet again. A Raven. One of those whites from earlier had a +5 Darflail, and I didn't even notice. But we are most likely going to go for the Laya tank. I'm just not training it because I'm prioritizing armor, since the aptitude is so good. The moment I find a good source of willpower, I can completely throw away the buckler and switch to the Laya tank, and it's gonna be fantastic. Not that willpower matters a lot here, but it will matter a lot in the very near future in the late dungeon, which we're about to go to next. So might as well keep it on. There's no need to take it off and then put it back on. Okay. Hydra dies very easily because you're not going to be able to kill a 31 armor class character. We found the Ring of Willpower. Okay, what would we lose? We would lose... Okay, I see what I have to do. Very soon I will equip heavier armor, like plate. I think once I get out of here and go into Orc, I would most likely find some branded plates that I would like to equip, or at least +4 plate. That happens very often. And when I find that, we take off the Ring of Protection, we put on the Ring of Willpower, we take off the shield, we drop the maces, and we go for the Laya tank, and we just enchant the Laya tank. It's very likely for that to happen, and I think that is my path to victory. Laya tanks are just that good. They're on that level. I like Armator. They have so many good things. They're so much better than Palentonga. Palentonga was had potential, but it was too kneecapped by its low quality. You know, low aptitudes, low um, low power. Really, yeah, that's really what it is. It was low power. Um, so I have trained some stuff. I really wish I had some evocations levels. I probably should have turned it on a while ago. Um, I'm gonna do it now because we have some really strong experience evocables. Tina's Tremorstones, Gale's Gravity Tambourine, and we also have wands, including Wand of Roots, Wand of Mindburst, which cannot really shine as much as they can if I train the skill. So training the skill is what I'm doing now. Dabbing a Band of Death Yaks with 31 armor class, and somehow I'm winning. Come on, 84%. There we go. Yeah, not somehow. I have regen. Of course I'm winning. Regen allows you to win fights that most other characters with equal gear, sans regen, would not be able to win. Yeah, it's such a strong property to have, and it is absolutely crazy to have gotten it as earlier as I did. Um, there are some characters that I have played in recent times being last couple of months or so, where I just don't find regen period. Um, but this time we have it so early. I think we get some potions here, because this is looking like a spot where Berserk would be nice. Um, Potion of 3 and Might. It's so expensive. I think the choice is very clear. We go for Haste and Brilliance, which is pretty much just Haste. It's fine. I'm standing on shallow water. I don't want to be standing on shallow water. Um, because shallow water makes you fumble attacks. Alright, pretty good. That went very well. The power of Haste. Ring of Dexterity. We don't care about a Ring of Dexterity. Oh wait, let me finish exploring this, and we're gonna go back to D1 for that. For the stack of Identify, because D1 had a bunch of scrolls of Identify in the shop, and I wanna buy them all. Alright, I'm really strong. Yep, I am really tanky, is what I should be saying, because I am not killing things particularly quickly, so that will come into play in a bit, or it would if I didn't already have a plan for it. Um, but the things that I'm facing here, despite my inability to kill them in like 2 turns, are not really that threatening unless they gang up on me like this. Yep. I think it's important to keep in mind how exactly can you play in such or like how can you play to lead to your death and avoid that. So yeah, you think about I'm really strong, but if this and this and this happens and I make these decisions, I can still die. Like for example, I'm very powerful, obviously, compared to the things that I'm fighting against. But if I get surrounded by them, if I'm fighting like 10 things in the open, I can still die. In fact, it's likely for me to die in such a position. Um, okay, back to D1. Go D1. Ah, yeah, these guys. Well, now I'm more equipped to deal with them. Yep. Before I went into Lair, they were extremely dangerous, and now they're not. Oh, Natasha. Bye, Natasha. Talking about things that were scarier the first time I saw them. We are gonna buy all of that. All of that. I have so much Gozak money. found heal wounds. We have one blinking. We have found one blinking in the entire playthrough. That ring is so good. Okay, at some point I picked up a ring of willpower and resistance to corrosion. I think that that will be the ring for me in the near future. Um, 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 yeah, back to the 11. We can clear that, and after that, I think we do orc knights. That's very nasty. Resistance to corrosion ring is from the ice cave. Let's see. The game does tell you where you picked up things. You found it in an ice cave. Yep, pretty good item. All right, time for orc. Hmm. Those things are very expensive. Fortunate, like I'm a worshipper of Gosak, so it doesn't matter. But I'm that Morningstar. My plan is to use the Laya tank. I'm about to make the switch. I just need to find um, better armor. I'm getting ringmail and I have 13 armor skill, so it's getting close. Also, I would like to get past this part of the game since there's a bunch of things with hexes here. Um, and I'll have a little bit of hex resistance, but not enough. I'll buy that identify. I think that I should buy this lightning rod as well. There's no reason not to. Yeah, we're training evocations finally. They changed the message from something comes into view to you have found something, or you encounter something. You encounter an orc. What is this debu's thing? It has an increased chance to perform stab attacks against vulnerable targets and temporarily increases the wielder's evasion and slaying each time they do so. That sounds fun. Is it like an artifact only thing? It's a shame that it's tied to stabs, but maybe that's the thing that makes the stabs not complete ass. Mm. I was afraid of the water because I was like, oh, did I get the launcher ending? Because the launcher ending sucks, but it doesn't seem to be. Or rather, I know it's not. If this is one of the 4 shops in the level, this is not the launcher ending because the launcher ending places all the shops in the same spot. Short blade only branding trunk. Or you gather it's a new short blade only branding trunk. Me too. Um, I will be very happy to buy these things. Yeah, I'll probably not do it immediately, but I'll buy them before I leave this level. That's so many enemies. And I am thinking this was a 5th extra shop, which is crazy because it's a really good shop. So even if the shops in the vault are disappointing, this is gonna be fine. Now, how do we deal with these guys? Let me think about it. Because we can use immolation, we can use experience evocables. I think I should use experience evocables, but I want to hit the priests, so I wait for them to get a little bit closer, and there we go. Most of them bit the dust. Now I'm gonna reposition because that made a lot of noise and attracted all the monsters. RNG told you, Deep Elf Chaos Knight, you're on the dying on D5 stage. Well, at the start of the stream, I quit an old berserker with crazy loot that was just going to 10 HP every fight before I took a 2-month break from this game. So I get it, except that it happened later in the game for me instead of on D5. I think it's time to turn on staves, but if I do that, I don't get the benefit of the manual, and I want the manual. Okay, back to armor we go. Come on, okay. Orc Warlord strong. We have 2 sources of fire resistance, so I feel justified doing this. Which one of these is the Warlord? Did it go away? Yeah, I think it must be outside of my line of sight. Okay. Surprisingly, the only thing that lived was the Warlord. Everyone seems to hate Null. You don't mind Null, it doesn't half give analysis paralysis. Yeah, I like the analysis because it doesn't paralyze me. I don't like, in fact, the fact that Null deprives me of those options because I like those options. Also, I feel like it always results in a super weak character for the mid game. Or maybe it was the fact that I couldn't cast the spells because I was a berserker. Okay, the Orc Warlord explodes. I feel like I should use a potion of attraction here. Pull everything into the fire. What's all that orange? Is the room on fire? It was on fire. I read a scroll of immolation, which made it so that every monster was affected with inner flame, which makes them explode and leave clouds of fire behind when they die. And then I used an experience evocable to deal some damage to them, which triggered the clouds effect of the inner flame, which caused a chain reaction, which killed a bunch of monsters in one turn, and in turn it set the room on fire. We're gonna buy that because Gosag Worshipper. I'll buy everything because Gosag Worshipper. I don't care about any of those. There better be some branded plate in the floor. Yeah. Scroll that burns monsters from the inside and they leave fire. They explode when they die. Super neat. But in order to trigger it, you have to deal damage to them. They don't just take damage and start burning just because. But once you do deal damage to them, and especially if there's a bunch of them, it can very easily cause a chain reaction that just kills everything. Will this not be good Fortress Talisman character? I have pretended that talismans don't exist. Let's see the aptitude. I will continue to pretend talismans don't exist. It puts that property to your weapon. It puts the property on every monster that I can see. The item in question is called... hold on, because this new inventory system, I really don't like it. I gotta... that's not the one. Immolation. A scroll that fills the creatures around the reader with an unstable and powerful inner flame. This fire is released anytime the victims are hit and explosively released upon their death. Giant creatures cause bigger explosions. Great item. One of my favorite items in the game. Okay, we buy the manuals. Time to turn on staves. 14. Enchant weapon on the Laya tank. Drop. Wait. There really has to be some enchanted or branded plate or ring mail. Okay, no, I just went through a million monsters wearing chain or plate. And yep, look at that. 16 plates and 35 chainmails without counting the ones that generated in the shop, and absolutely 0 of them are special in any way whatsoever. Okay, I'll go for plates because I want the armor class. I'll pick them up both. Your armor class would decrease by 1 and your evasion would decrease by 1.9. Increase by 1. How come my evasion gets completely hosed? Protection. Oh. I should wear that hat. I should go back, kill Gastronok, and get his hat of See Invisible. Two evasion. What happened with armor encumbrance? Why exactly do I have 2 evasion? It doesn't seem right. Is it because I'm wearing the barding? I think the barding. Yeah, evasion -2. Okay, remove the ring of protection by and put on the ring of willpower, this one. We have 2 slayings, but we are not gonna be doing that. Okay, drop all of that. Wield the Laya tank. Okay. And so it's time to run around and hit things with 2 evasion. I'm gonna explode spontaneously in the very near future. Enchant weapon. I knew there was one more enchant weapon. I'll buy this because I ran out. And I ran out of money, but in the future I'll come back for that Phantom Mirror. Maybe I should have bought that Phantom Mirror, but it was so pricey. The other experience evocables that I bought were like I bought 1 Gale's Grabby Tambourine and 1 sack of spiders, and the 2 of them combined were cheaper than the Phantom Mirror that is in this shop. So whatever. Okay. Next upgrades for this character are going to be, of course, Scrolls of Enchant Weapon. Wow, immediately punished for losing willpower, 16%. You hate to see it. Just scroll things. Anyway, as I was saying, next weapon upgrade for this character is just Enchant Armor. We have the pinnacle of weaponry in the form of the Laya tank. And for the armor, we still have a long way to go. Worst case scenario, we might have to wait until we see gold dragons in order to get a weapon upgrade or like an armor upgrade. We're gonna mine burst Sonia. You blow up Sonia, bye bye, because I don't want to go into melee with that. Cassandra, the Doomed Oracle. Yes, she applies crazy doom, right? Doomsaying. Inflicting doom equal to half of what it would take you for you to reach 100. Yep. Torment vote for doom. A sliver of this field will come to pass in the form of an ambush. Several well-hidden enemies from the floor will seek out your position unerringly, and all stairs will temporarily be sealed. Can only be cast a single time, but even slaying the messenger in the sleep will not avoid what fate has in store for you. Ah, yes, this enemy. So what do I have for this enemy? Man, I really don't like this. I gotta change that, but not immediately. Acquirement? Okay. Let's see what we... Oh boy, plus 13 fire scales. And plus evening star of plus 1 evening star of freezing. That's pretty good as well, but I think that I'm gonna go for the Laya tank. The evening star is fantastic. In fact, if I'm going to go for the evening star, it's now. How enchanted is it? Plus 1. Decisions. The Laya tank does more damage and requires less skill. Keeping in mind that I have the manual, but it's two-handed, so no shield. But I already put the scrolls on the Lajatang. I should just stick to the Lajatang and get that. Yeah, I should get the plus 13 plate. It is plus 13, and enchantment matters a lot to Armatars since they receive lesser armor class from heavily or from heavy armor. Okay. 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 I have to say that I don't like what is going on right now. Can I get out of the floor? I should be fine now. Yeah, I just needed a bit of a corridor. And there we go. I am kind of an unstoppable force. Oh, of course. I take off the willpower and immediately I start seeing the enemies that have game-ending hexes. Oh man. Okay. Fortunately, I didn't get banished. 9% chance, by the way, but it's still almost certain. Caravan? No, come on. I just spent literally all my money. Oh. Put on new threats. Yeah, put on the fire scales. Yeah, I guess I should put on the fire scales. I acquired them for a reason. It's a shame because now I don't have cold resistance. But it's fine. And it kind of binds my scarf of resistance. If I take it off to put on the cloak of resistance to electricity, I will be taking extra cold damage, which is very bad, of course. I had a ring of 2 pips of fire resistance and cold resistance. Oh, I don't have it. I can buy it. It's kind of pricey, but it is very good. Yeah, that must be the ring you're thinking of. You did ice cave already. It is fine. I don't trust it. In general, I don't like to be walking around with huge Achilles heels. Like straight up, I avoid building my characters to have such a weakness. I'd rather not have I'd rather not have the weakness, you know. I'd rather not have weakness to cold. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Whatever. Yeah, double fire resistance. It was so close to being perfect. Let me drop these things. I'm not gonna use them anymore. Pretty good ring. Do I just take off slaying? How? It's 40. I think I'll do it. Yeah, 36. It was a good. We had a good time with slaying, but I would rather have crazy resistances and crazy defenses than crazy damage. Okay, we found the bazaar. Let's see what's in here. Branded Lajatang. I don't think we care. But it could be speed. We have enough money to not care. I think I'm just gonna buy it. Oh no! Why? No, I don't have money. You cannot be doing this. That's crazy. Hundreds of bazaars entered in all my years playing this game. And if you have money, it's so unlikely that you'll get like a run-changing item. But if you don't have money, that's when the crazy loot appears. And the craziest part is that I had an acquirement. I could have just saved the acquirement for money. I often do that, but I just shotgunned the armor because I was like, I'll get the armor because I need armor, right? And don't misunderstand me, the armor is really good, but it could have been so much more. Anyway, please be speed. Okay, I mean, I don't like electrocution. Um, I'm not fond of electrocution as a brand because it's inconsistent, and I like consistency, right? I'd rather just have the Laya Tank freezing equipped. What a shame. Hand axe of sundering. What is sundering? After you perform multiple consecutive attacks, its next attack will deal greatly increased damage and also cleave into targets an extra space away. Wow, that seems fun. That seems really good. Oh, you know what's not good? Getting surrounded by bolt guards. That's the kind of thing that kills you. Hopefully, oh well, I guess I don't care about armor anymore. I was about to say, hopefully these bolt guards have some interesting plate for me, but who cares about plate when you have plus 13 fire scales? And anyway, they didn't have interesting plate. Does plate not generate branded anymore or something? Because it's crazy that I've gotten like 40 plates of monsters so far, and none of them have been special in any way whatsoever. Hmm. I shouldn't have dropped my maces. Nah, we're fine. But I cannot melee this thing. I really do not like meleeing Hydras. In fact, I think Hydras should be removed from the game altogether. They suck. They're super whack. Does my plus 13 fire skills have any other cool bonuses? 5 intelligence and see invisible. Okay, that means I don't have to worry about getting the hat of see invisible from Gastronok. I think I should just use the manual first. I should go back for the other Lajatang and brand it, hoping for flaming. You blow up the six-headed Hydra. Let's continue training armor. Okay, that felt like a D15, but it was only a D14. The iron shot hits you, you take 51 damage. Delightful. Okay, 10 of Tremor Stones. Gets rid of Jorgrun. Luis. With plus 3 plate of poison resistance. It finally came to me, the plus 3 plate of poison resistance. But it's a bit too late. Unfortunately, it's a bit too late. Regardless, the gold scales were probably better than this. What's your chance to banish me? 20%. What about we use Brilliance so I don't get banished? Oh, that's not right. That's Enlightenment. That's the one that I want to use. Flaming Partisan for Hydras. I would like to believe there's not gonna be a lot of Hydras in my future, and regardless, I would grab a Mace because I have more skill for it. Oh, you have poison resistance. I cannot curare you. Please don't blink. Wrong button. Also, lightning hits you, you take 39, but then Louise dies, so everything is fine. What Lure Branch did we get? Oh, we got swamped, so that means we're gonna have to wait a second, plus 5 what? Enchant armor. We do have one enchant weapon that I haven't used. Let me put it on this delightful Tank. Experience evocables are so fun. I've always been partial for them. Back in the day when there were rots, I really liked rots because they gave you access to spells without casting, without, devoting resources to magic. So they gave spells to species that were not particularly favored when it came to spells. Um, Experience evocables are kind of more of that. Are that but enhanced because you get to do cool stuff that only experience evocables can do and cannot really be replicated with spells. Now, to be perfectly fair, high magic does do things that are more exciting, but it's still pretty cool. And we found a better Laya tank to rebrand. We do think about bringing rods back, but there's not a lot of space that isn't already full of ones. Yeah, you maybe remove beam ones and add beam rods instead. Maybe. Mm, 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 didn't do enough damage. I never trained for this. Hey, Agnes dies. Let's go. Give me that. And now we're gonna read a brand weapon. And we're gonna rebrand this Laya Tank of Pain. And we're gonna rebrand this Laya Tank of Pain. Or rebrand the Laya Tank of Freezing. It's a BAMP Laya Tank! Oh boy, it's a BAMP Laya Tank. I think we have to use that for the rest of the game. Or at least until SOT. We've got all the old evocables, Disc of Storms, Stone of Tremors. Well, Tin of Tremors is not quite the same, but it is close enough. Also, I like how it makes a huge explosion. Oh, Trove, what does that want from me? The Bane of Mortality. Ah, yeah, the Reaper Bane. Should I do it? I feel like it's gonna kill me, but on the other hand, I am a walking wall with 37 armor class. I should be fine. What does BAMP do? It occasionally heals you for a portion of the damage dealt when it wounds a living creature. So that combined with my regen, with my obscene armor class, means that I am a drain tank. Of course, chat wants you to do it. Yeah, life stealing. It's such a rare and powerful property. I am happy about it. It's to the point where I might tab Hydras with that. I still feel like I shouldn't, but I might tab Hydras with it. Let's do Spider first. I don't have the resistance. Let's see. Okay, when it comes to the resistances, we have a ring. And in order to put on that ring, I would have to take off the willpower And it should be okay. Mm, 320 gold. I can wait. I can do Swamp first. Besides, the spider is the worst place in the game. It's terrible. Resonance, what is that? It improves the success rate of your Forgecraft spells and enhances your melee attacks proportionally to your Forgecraft skill. A trophy is the bane of mortality. I did check it. And I will grab that but after Lure Branches because Lure Branches are the worst part of the game. If I survive the Lure Branches, I'll probably be able to survive that. Maybe after Bolts as well. Ooh, do I enchant the Bamp Tank or the Tank of Freezing? I'll enchant the Bamp Tank because I'll be using that for much longer than the Tank of Freezing. I'll most likely only switch to a Freezing one for Sot. What does that Bane do? If I'm at low HP and alone, there will be a Reaper summoned to fight me. And if I'm high enough experience level, there will be multiple Reapers. It's kind of nasty. I could probably do it, given that I have Giga HP and Armor class, but it's still a risk that I feel like is unnecessary given my gear. I am really in a good position. It's not like I'm starved for loot to be taking risks like that. That's why I was saying maybe later. Do these guys fumble attacks in water? You have finished your manual of armor and toss it away at 21 armor. Beautiful. They're slowed reapers. Marmalize you. What is marmalize? Regardless, I do fear the Reaper this time. Or at least for now. Maybe in a bit I will be able to handle even 2 Reapers. Not much fun for the Marmalice, I suppose. Okay, time to see if I can actually tap down an Hydra, and it turns out I can tap down an Hydra. Okay, that guy cannot reach me. I think that Spriggan Druid cannot reach me. How annoying. It's just they're interrupting the auto-explore. Okay, an 8-headed Hydra. Can I tap down an 8-headed Hydra? The answer is yes. Somehow I can. Also, I got corroded. Oh, the fire scales give you corrosion, but I have the resistance, so it's not so terrible. You know, if I survived plus 28 or like minus 28 corrosion earlier, I think we're fine. That was crazy. Pretty much everything that could have gone wrong there went wrong, including every corrosion roll. But somehow I didn't die, and that's good. We take those. Now I feel really, really strong. But it might just be that it's swamp. If it was a spider, I wouldn't be feeling this strong. I would be scrambling for my life because a spider is full of monsters that don't particularly care about you having 38 armor class. They will still hit you hard and poison you for some reason. And paralyze. What paralyzes? What paralyzes in spiders? I have no idea. In some Fenstrider witches do. Oh, Yorogumo paralyzed? Do they do that with their melee? That never happens to me. Ah, yeah, after damaging hits, poison and paralysis is slowing. Wow, that's so nasty. Or maybe it has happened to me, but it didn't matter because I was already dead. Man, I feel so strong. This is the power of a BAMP weapon. Like, you are just tabbing the most ridiculous things, but your HP doesn't go down. Unless the things that you're tabbing are undead, in which case they do drop your HP bar a little bit. Remember, you too are mortal, yes. But I think that we are at a point where my mortality is a little bit suspended. What happened there? Did I get paralyzed by the hornet? Man, when did it even happen? I did get paralyzed by the hornet because what else paralyzes here? But I don't see when it happened. Ah, wait, there's a better way to see this. Paralyzed by a hornet for 3.5 turns. Yep, all of them have no armor class, and by extension, they were gonna die really easily to that. Okay, we find something to BAMP, and so we are back to low HP because I'm standing on poison. That's very bad. Resistance, might, haste, and brilliance, invisibility, and might. I think I can. I am gonna go with the most expensive option because you shouldn't gamble with your life. Crawl teaches you a lot of life lessons if you pay attention to it. I have resistance, so this shouldn't be much of a problem while the resistance lasts. Okay, and it's over, but so are most of the swamp dragons. When desperate, drink something unidentified. Do I even have... I do have a couple of unidentified potions. I should fix that soon. Oh, Spriggan Berserker, delightful. Okay, fortunately a single use of Tin of Tremorstones at 10 evocations was enough to kill it. Seen a wasp try to kill it with an axe. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to hit these insects with most weapons. I do think it's pretty funny that the game demands you to do such a thing. Should I enchant this barding? I am almost certain that I should, because it's a barding. Like, I'm not gonna find another one. I know this. But I kinda am hopeful that I will find another one, you know? I assume the potion that I have not identified is resistance. I ran out of identify scrolls. Oh, the resistance is so pricey. Yeah, I just don't want to be poisoned to death, you know? Okay, big poison. Ah, the perils of doing Lair branches without poison resistance. But at least we got rune number 1. So now I am compelled to postpone Spider as much as humanly possible and um, go do bolts. How is this thing killing me? Oh, bonus open air damage max 47. I see. Perhaps I shouldn't be tabbing that in the open. Oh, I wish I had enough Tremor Stones. Immolation. Get rid of the Bogarts. Excuse me? Oh, I'm getting killed by a Thunderhook. Man, crawl mid-game. To be fair, that's kind of my fault. But still, I'm just having a crawl mid-game moment. Okay. I just got smitten pretty much every turn until that guy died. It's time to put on resistance to electricity. I think we have to say goodbye to regen because resistance to electricity is just too important. Or weakness to cold. No, no, not weakness to cold, but we are going to lose cold resistance, which is probably okay. There are frost hearts here, but it's not as much of a problem as other monsters. Wow, did I just drink heal wounds for 17? That sucks. That's a really low roll of heal wounds. It's pretty much a high roll of curing. Ambrosia. I should not drop the Scarf of Resistance. I might be able to go back to it because you know I really like Scarf of Resistance. So it's quite a strong item. Where's the Bogart? Oh wait, these guys are real. I was ignoring them because I thought they were Bogart summons, but they were convoked by this convoker. Okay, that's inconvenient. I'm not fond of any of these things. You remain impressed by my ability to get a rune less time than you spend scratching your chin and looking at your inventory. If you know your power level, you just know your power level and you know what things you can handle. 1 hour and 42 minutes. I think it's a bit on the slow side for a character of this caliber, but then again, I have not played in a while, so it may be that. Okay, Bamp is doing Bamp things, and so we are back to full HP. This mark is nothing to be afraid of. Bamp is such a crazy brand. It's so powerful. Like, it's by a mile stronger than any other brand in the game. Because there is no brand that gets you out of that kind of situation the way that BAMP does. Now, to be fair, BAMP's reduced damage output does mean that maybe with better damage output you wouldn't be in that situation in the first place, right? But wow, there's 3 scrolls of enchant weapon that I left on the floor. Right? Let me go get them. We can fully enchant the freezing Laya tank. All right, fully enchanted Laya tanks in my inventory. How many enchant armors? We have 6 Death Knights. Am I getting agonies? How likely are you to? 27! And it already happened twice, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's 1 and that's 2. Why exactly are you capable of doing that? How annoying. And of course, you have Undeath Thralls, which I cannot bamp. So this is a little bit spooky. Alright, now we're fine. We're fine. I did get a bunch of regen in there before that guy spotted me. I saw Para and I was so afraid, but it is a 1-turn paralysis, so we're fine. Oh, that's crazy. I took so much damage there in what seemed like a very simple fight. Did that warden have a shield or something? No. It wasn't even a warden, it was an arcanist, and I had such a hard time killing it. Oh, your body becomes as fragile as glass. That explains it. If Singing Sword's ability counts as brand, that's even more powerful brand. It clears cigarettes. It doesn't really count as a brand, it's just the Singing Sword. Because it's the only weapon that has it. It's a property of the Singing Sword more than a brand. And even then, the ability to clear cigarette floors, if given enough time, is not like I value defensive abilities for melee character more than I value offense, and vice versa. For a mage, I value overwhelming offense because the mage's offense is way better than melee offense, and vice versa. You know, like melee defense is better than mage defense, except for, you know, the fact that in this game the ultimate defense is killing things the turn they enter the screen. Did they get rid of those monsters that had that ability that you could only damage them if you were next to them? Because I haven't seen a single one. They were such a hard counter to mages and rangers. They're still in Bandila. I have not seen any of them. Or maybe if I have, I haven't noticed them because I'm kind of just a walking blender. And things are just dying immediately. What does this do? Pushes those it hits backwards, briefly stunning them. In the process, if it pushes them into a solid feature, They will instead take an additional 1/4 of any damage that pierces their armor. Okay. It's a big slime creature. Um, oh man. If an enemy doesn't have magic and you have Bamp, you can kinda just stab it and you will win the fight. It's crazy. Why? Can I please stop taking half my HP in one turn with 40 armor class? Would be neat. I cannot vamp these guys, so like I'm at pretty much immediate danger of dying. I hate this game. I don't have regen equipped anymore. Okay, it's still much better than the null that I quit earlier. Can I get Cirque? I can get Cirque. Yeah, much to my dismay, I really felt like I needed to Cirque those guys because they were together. If they had been alone, I would have been able to kill them 1v1 without a buff. Wislav. I wonder what we are going to get in this Wislav. We should read magic mapping for it. We have enough. Okay, found the Wislav. Oh, the Roulette of Golubria. Okay. I immediately reached... Oh, no, it's not the end. We're not at the end yet. Wow, I kind of soft-locked myself here. Okay, fortunately it didn't decide to summon stuff and abuse the fact that I positioned myself in such a way that I was unable to move. Quite a nasty place to land on, and I had to tab on Eldritch Tentacle before fighting the main dish, which is this Lich. This looks horrible, why would anyone go here for the loot? It's not that bad. Well, it is kinda bad, but it is not as bad as it could be. There's harder Wislavs. Yeah, this is an easy one by comparison. To Kima's studio is really difficult. Um, no, there's a lot of them that are really hard. There's some that if I get it, I just immediately get out. Um, there's one that plays as royal mummies. There's the Hellbinder plays. The Hellbinder is pretty much like generating a level of Pandemonium, except that the boss is guaranteed to have Damnation. Let me see if I can find the Hellbinder in here. Um, aha! Yes, this guy is the boss of one of the Wizlabs. It has Hurl Damnation, Summon Greater Demon, Summon Demon, Haste, Blink Away, and Abjuration. So keep in mind that his level is full of really nasty monsters that also have Damnation, like Hellions and Tormentors and stuff, because it's pretty much like a level of Pandemonium. But instead of a Panlord, you have to deal with this guy. So yeah, that one is super nasty. Most characters have a hard time dealing with that. Um, Tomb of Dorothy can be an absolute shitstorm, yeah. I'm not fond of what's happening right now, but this is manageable still. Okay, get rid of these statues. Oh, there's a second tentacle. It's about to kill me. I would prefer not to die. Are you faster than me? Not at 120, but maybe attacks of opportunity do something that they shouldn't do and kill me. So let's drink a curing before, or like a heal wounds. And now I feel safe enough to walk away. And yes, it does happen, attacks of opportunity. But it only happens once. Okay, if I retreat to the edge of the level or of this bolt, it cannot reach me here. So I can just sit here and regen to full. Alright, that wasn't that bad. Poison resistance on a cloak. Okay, so I guess we unequip resistance to electricity on a cloak and we put on poison resistance on a cloak and we go do spider. More resistance to electricity on a cloak. This one has minus tele, which I do not like. Minus tele is the silent killer, after all. No, getting there is gonna be a pain. I just want to get out. Now that I have gotten everything that I came here for. Floors like these make you think you're not cut out for this game. It's not that hard. Like, it really is not that hard. It just has to, you have to be cognizant of what your character can or cannot do. If I went in here knowing what I know and I figured, hey, I don't think I can do this, I would have left immediately because this is entirely optional. Like, it's optional to the point where you can go in, see that it is this Wizlab, and if you hate it, you can leave for free immediately. Please don't banish me. Would be nice if I don't get banished here. Yeah, didn't notice that guy had distortion, but anyway, I found the exit. Let's get out of here. I'm more afraid of Spider, and Spider is something that's pretty much unavoidable. A typical crawl character has a huge amount in reserve and typically dies with 100 unused consumables. Yeah, I do have to say that it is pretty frustrating when you go through all your consumables and the game kills you through attrition, because that does happen. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen, and it sucks. Haste. These Crystal Guardians suck so much. I really do not like them. Oh, you do something super nasty, right? It's a Frost Heart, and I'm still fragile. What exactly happened there? What dealt so much damage to me? You see, I'm more afraid of this than I was of the Wislav. Um, ah, yes, the Iron-bound Frostheart freezes you, and I don't have cold resistance. That's a shame. I don't know if attacks of opportunity will kill me here. The freezing rates can hit me. You can get rid of fragile with cancel. But if I do that, I'll also lose the haste. And also, like, I will lose a turn drinking the cancel, and I will also lose the haste. I think I would die before I get anything off of drinking fragile, off of drinking cancel here. Um, what is up with my heal wounds heals? It's like really I'm really low rolling today. 17, 20, 18. There was a good one, but I took a hit, so it didn't heal me as much as it actually did. Okay, there we go. That's what I needed. And now I can just have things that are bumpable to go back to full. Should be careful because I'm surrounded by Simulacra without the resistance. Are you serious? How did that Berserk last for like 3 turns? Oh, I feel so scammed. At least I'm fast plus a slow, so I can probably reposition. Or not! I repositioned enough. I wanted to get out, but this might suffice. Come on. Okay, I'm not liking this. Do I have... I don't have resistance. And if I had resistance, I would only have one, because it's pretty rare. I do not like this one bit. Yep, that's so nasty. I really could have used a little bit of cold resistance there. The lack of cold resistance is definitely coming into play. Yeah, but it's nice when things do not do any damage and my 40 armor class does what it's supposed to do. Okay. Uh-oh. It's gonna summon a bunch of dudes. Fortunately, I'm close to the stairs. I'm just gonna get out. Okay, careful with the Beastmaster. It does hit pretty hard. 50. Its very presence provokes and overworks non-sapient living beasts and slimes alike into a rapid fervor. Slimes alike. Imagine one of these guys with a band of acid blobs. That would be SOT 5 worthy. You would die so quickly to that. It has a slime thing just in case a slime creature band happens to generate close to that guy. But there are stronger slimes than slime creatures in this game, which fortunately do not generate here. Nobody. I remember this guy. You have to kill this guy like 5 times, right? Ignites a memory from the Nimbus which surrounds nobody, temporarily granting them the knowledge of a powerful spell and healing their injuries. This power is fleeting and will be extinguished after taking an insignificant amount of damage, so long as any other memories remain, they cannot be put to rest for good. Kill him 8 times in your last game and he still wouldn't stay down, that sucks. How about we read a tele? Eventually just left him. Too real, flavorful. How about we don't fight that guy? Okay, yeah, I'm not remotely close to where nobody was, so who is poisoning me? Oh, do these have ranged attacks? Clips from afar. Okay, that sucks. Class natural. Okay, so I should be able to bump them. Oh man, Bamp is completely saving me here. I'm marked, so I don't want any heat from nobody, so I'm just gonna leave. Alright, I think it's time to go to Spider. If my character wasn't this strong, I would have died at least 3 different times there. Okay, back to Tab doing what it is supposed to do. Yep. Okay, they don't care about your armor class, but they do care if you have armor class and poison resistance. And fortunately, I assembled the 2 pieces. And so this should be a walk in the park, barring the high-level spiders, you know, sun moths and ghost moths and emperor scorpions. Melee, of course, if I'm not capable of prioritizing them. Yeah, but once you actually prioritize the melee, they are a joke. They don't do anything. Really low HP. These things are not tanky. They're damaging, but they're not tanky, and they are. Their plan is to overwhelm you with numbers. Death Scarabs can also fight back. Yeah, but Death Scarabs are really rare here. They only appear in one ending. In general, they're pretty rare enemies overall. They only spawn in like Tomb and here in that one ending. If they were enemies that could spawn in any of the levels before the end, that would be so nasty. I wouldn't put it past the developers. It's kind of a blessing to have such a long-lived game in your life if you care about something constantly evolving. Um, I was thinking the other day about how a lot of the games in my life have, like, even games that should have like an expiration date are still active. For example, Urban Rivals. Urban Rivals is a trading card game, virtual one, and you may be thinking, oh, like Hearthstone, right? But the thing is that this one was created in 2006. I found out a couple of years after it was created. I was in middle school, and a friend of mine hooked me up to the game, or like told me, "Hey, play this," and I was like, "Let's check it out." And I really was into the game. Um, And eventually I stopped playing as much, but it's not like I've quit and never gone back to it. It's more like sometimes I just don't feel like playing, and sometimes I do. And like last week I played so much of it. It's a pretty interesting game because I think that the same skills that one requires to become a proficient poker player are at play when you're playing that game. Um, for you, it would probably be Factorio. You've been playing it for 5 years only, but you think you'll be playing it for many years still. Yeah, the game that I was talking about, like, of course, it has a small percentage of the player base that it once had. Um, I remember once upon a time, I used to struggle to make the top 1/3 of players in their hourly tournaments that they hosted um, once every other hour. Like I struggled to make the top 1/3, which received a slightly better reward. And now, in the week that I went back and played a little bit, I actually won like 6 tournaments of those. Except like the format changed. Now they don't last an hour; they last half an hour, and they are run every half an hour, like non-stop the whole day. Um, so winning a couple of those, like six, um, it was not as much of a time commitment, but still, like the thought of back then, like I I had such a hard time, and now, and I don't think it's because I've gotten significantly better at the game. I think it's more that the truly powerful players, like the truly skilled players at that game, have quit the game or have moved on to other games. As I said earlier, the skills required to be really good at that game are pretty much transferable to poker. And if you're really good at poker, you can literally make a living and stuff. So wouldn't be surprised if they turned into professional poker players. The people who started at Urban Rivals. Maybe I'll stream it one of these days. This is a little bit concerning. Yeah, Sun Moth. It's not that bad because I have 3 pips of fire resistance, but if I didn't have big fire resistance, that fire status effect would have dealt substantial damage to me. Yeah, most of the things here are okay. Like, I'm dropping a little bit low on HP, but it's not that bad. Nothing that I cannot manage. I have 25 fighting. Maybe I should be training other things, you know? Maybe a little bit of dodging, like 8, like 8 dodging, so I can have more than 5 evasion. Surely that will come into play later when it comes to dodging iron shots and crystal spears and such. Okay, this time the bolt doesn't have anything super duper nasty. It does have the usual nastiness, but I don't see ghost mods. I have seen visible. It's not a joke. I don't see ghost mods. Oh, there's one. Well, now there's 0. No mods of wrath. 2 Emperor's Corpse. But I am way stronger than them, as you can see. The closet doesn't have a ghost mod. Okay. And pies, yeah. Dodging those pies is very important. Azul. Bye-bye. Although they can't poly anymore, that's neat because I suppose that was removed because it was too powerful. And it was. It definitely was. Like, effectively a death beam. Um, I think I'm gonna leave it here and come back tomorrow. This was this is going pretty well for my return character after the 2 month break. I am going to put it on YouTube perhaps, if it ends well, or maybe even if it doesn't end well, I'm gonna put it on YouTube and put anything there in a while. Thank you for watching and thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. If for some reason you're not following, you might want to do so, so you can see me play more. I'm gonna try to be more active at around this time of the day because streaming in the morning like doesn't really work for me that much. Um, and when it comes to the games that I'll play, I will try crawl, but if crawl makes me quit crawl for 2 months, well, that's just what it is, you know. I'm not gonna force myself to play it because it's quite painful. Um, I would like to play. Oh, Slay Part 2 is coming soon. Some rumors say that maybe this month. Um, I saw. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, especially with the actual game in the bottom right. Yeah, can you believe some people want me to get rid of that? Sometimes in YouTube I get comments that say you should get rid of the console in the bottom right, and I reply to those comments with the fact that you have tiles at all is like a courtesy of mine, because I play console. Like originally I streamed the console and no one watched, and then I streamed tiles and no one watched, and then I started promoting my stream in the Discord and then people started watching. But anyway, yep, that's it. My evasion went up to 7. So turning on dodging, paying dividends already. As what 40% more evasion than I had when I started. Looking pretty good. And anyway, enough. See you around. Bye bye.